The Little Bighorn River Valley was quiet, a serene and tranquil place where the river meandered through the landscape, whispering secrets of the past. The year was 1876, a time when America was still young, and the frontier was a place of both promise and peril. Rolling hills, dotted with scrub and sagebrush, stretched beneath a vast Montana sky, a landscape that seemed to go on forever, untouched and wild. It seemed a place untouched by time, yet history was about to be written in blood on these very grounds. The serenity of the valley belied the storm that was brewing. On June 25th, the fate of the 7th Cavalry and thousands of Native Americans would collide in a battle that would echo through the ages. The Lakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho people had long called these lands home, their cultures rich with traditions and stories passed down through generations. They lived in harmony with nature, their lives intertwined with the rhythms of the buffalo herds and the changing seasons. The buffalo were more than just a source of sustenance, they were central to their way of life. For them, the Little Bighorn represented more than just a place to live. It was sacred ground, a testament to their ancestors and a promise for future generations. It was a place where the spiritual and the physical worlds met, but change was coming, brought on by the relentless westward expansion of the United States. The push for new lands and resources was unstoppable. The discovery of gold in the Black Hills, considered sacred by the Native Americans, ignited a firestorm of greed and ambition. Prospectors and adventurers flocked to the area, driven by dreams of wealth. Miners and settlers, hungry for wealth and land, flooded into the region, encroaching upon the traditional territories of the tribes. The delicate balance of life on the plains was disrupted. The stage was set for a clash of cultures, a confrontation that would leave an indelible mark on American history. The battle that ensued was not just a fight for land, but a struggle for survival, identity, and the future of a way of life. The discovery of gold in the Black Hills shattered the fragile peace between the U.S. government and the Plains Indians. This event marked a turning point, a catalyst that would ignite a series of conflicts and alter the course of history for both the Native American tribes and the settlers. Treaties, signed with the promise of protecting Native American lands, were cast aside in the rush for riches. The agreements, which were meant to ensure peace and mutual respect, became mere pieces of paper as the lure of gold proved too tempting for many. Prospectors, driven by dreams of striking it rich, poured into the region, their presence a direct violation of the Fort Laramie Treaty of 1868. This influx of settlers not only disrupted the lives of the Native Americans, but also led to increased tensions and inevitable clashes. The U.S. government, instead of honoring its agreements, responded with pressure and force. Officials, driven by the desire to control the valuable resources, chose to ignore the promises made to the Native American tribes. The army was dispatched to subdue the hostile Indians who resisted the theft of their ancestral lands. Soldiers, under orders to protect the interests of the settlers, found themselves in a harsh and unfamiliar terrain, facing a determined and skilled adversary. The Lakota, Cheyenne, and Arapaho, facing the prospect of losing their way of life, prepared to fight for their survival. These tribes, with their deep connection to the land and their rich cultural heritage, were not willing to surrender without a fight. The government's actions were not only unjust but also strategically unwise. By underestimating the resolve and capabilities of the Native American tribes, they set the stage for a prolonged and bloody conflict. By pushing the tribes to the brink, they ignited a resistance far greater than anticipated. The Native Americans, with their intimate knowledge of the terrain and their warrior spirit, mounted a formidable defense. The Native Americans, skilled warriors, and intimately familiar with the terrain, were determined to defend their homelands. Their strategies, honed over generations, proved to be highly effective against the encroaching forces. Amidst this volatile atmosphere, two iconic figures emerged: Lieutenant Colonel George Armstrong Custer, a flamboyant and ambitious cavalry officer, and Sitting Bull, a revered Lakota spiritual leader known for his wisdom and resistance to white encroachment. Their contrasting personalities and leadership styles would come to symbolize the larger conflict between the U.S. government and the Native American tribes. Their destinies, intertwined by circumstance, would forever be linked to the battle that unfolded on the banks of the Little Bighorn. This battle, often referred to as Custer's Last Stand, would become a defining moment in American history, symbolizing both the bravery and the tragedy of the conflict between two vastly different cultures.